Good morning, chat. Hey guys, we're gonna start a little early just to hang out and kind of get ready. So we are getting ready for Fani's. Basically, the Board of Ethics for Fulton County is going to be taking a look at what's going on here, and I have a feeling the Zoom link is invalid because it's about to crash. Um, yeah. You can join via Zoom. Um, hmm. Yeah, it's saying the meeting link is invalid, guys. Hold on. I'm trying to give me a second here. We're gonna have to work on this. So Fanny is suffering. Well, she's not suffering. Does not suffer, Fanny. This is her fault. This is her damn fault. So don't give her the don't give her the special. Don't give her any idea that she's like this is unfair to her or anything like that. Okay, you guys seriously don't let her. Don't give her that. Don't give her that. Don't give her that benefit. Yeah, this link is invalid. Even the link on the thing they sent out. It's down, chat. I'm not sure where it's at. Fannie Mae another filing. I don't have it yet. Robert G has already got it also. Good. Well, that's good. It's not my fault then. All right. Thank you. My lovely producer just sent me where it looks like we're trying to make sure we got the right links. Yeah, it looks like this one might not work either. Let me try it. I'll try it this way. See if I can do Zoom through Edge. Yeah, it's nope, not working. Okay. Yep, the Fulton County people boomered their link. I don't know if they're going to fix it. They're too corrupt that they don't want you to see. Yeah, they might not. Trenton, thank you for being first on Twitch. Unhung Hero for $2 says, "Oh, I'm going to come." Well, don't come. Don't come. Not yet. So, KRM got the first. Congratulations. Forgot to put this up last night, guys. So my apology on that. So what is going on here? We're going to take a look at the notices because there are a couple of notices here that were posted. Fulton County Board of Ethics. Now, Fulton County, and guys, you may not have a Board of Ethics in your county where you live, but you may not live in these massive governmental entities. I mean, Fulton County is big. So this is not uncommon in bigger places that they have people in charge of their ethics. They have their own ethics watchdogs. Now, if you're smaller governments, that's going to be more of like your states. So for Ohio, the state auditor, they're not in charge of money. They're actually more in charge of ethics oversight and government accountability. They have the ability, like that's if you have problems in your county, you would go to them and say, "Hey, look, I've got issues." Well, that is kind of what we're looking at here. So the actual special meeting was provided as a notice. Why is God? Also, guys, if you've been trying to use Rumble, I apologize because lately it has been wanting to fight me left and right. And I don't know why. It's actually getting very frustrating because you'll set up Rumble link and then everything's chugging along great. And then, like, halfway through a stream, I don't know if Rumble's realizing like nobody's watching or something. And that's their way of like saving power is like they're just killing things off at the hip. Like, no, we're just going to kill it now. That way he can't keep going. Because if it's dying, I just leave it alone because I'm not trying to fight it. So I apologize to you guys out there in Rumble land if you do like Rumble. Rumble does fight me. But there was a couple things provided. The first one was back a couple days ago. And actually, guys, if you just keep your eyes peeled, if somebody does get a link, let me know. It's Fani. She doesn't deserve it. It's Fanny. Everybody calls her Fanny. Karen's saying, I have a Zoom link. The Zoom link is garbage. So apparently it's garbage for everybody else. Good idea to pre-check the links. Yeah, but it sounds like everybody's already checking them. They're garbage. So I wanted to come on early and say, look, if we're having garbage links, we're kind of. Name is so just how are you billing the stream? Consulted with team. You're on my team. So that's how I'm doing it. And like I said last night, if Wade had his done in such a way where he could pull out like tons of receipts and like documentation showing like, look, this is a lot of work product stuff. We're doing secret grand jury things. That would be fine. But he doesn't have any of those notes. And when he was in charge of doing the jail, and I know Ashley Merkin brought this up, but he was in charge of investigating the Cobb County jail because there were a lot of deaths. And when the investigation was time for him to produce his answers, he's like, "Oh, well, I just keep all my notes upstairs in my head." Well, that is, a multiple thing like that where people have died, all kinds of craziness. You know what that means? It's like I didn't do anything. Well, for him, that's pretty obvious. And where are we at here? Okay, so why is let's see here. I'll bring this up for you guys. Oh, hold on one second. Chat, hold on. I'm just hearing from my producer. Give me 1 second here. So we are working on it, guys. We are getting things set up. Yes, Common Lawyer, 2 hours. Conferred with team regarding ethics issue with ongoing case. Yes, that is how I will do it. Trenton says 11 live will probably live stream, but it's not live yet. I don't know if they're going to have a live stream if they don't have the live link, but my lovely producer, I heard from her, not through the headset. I wish I could say that I'm like a news reporter. My lovely producer actually called them, was on the phone with them. And they're like, "Oh, we'll send you an email with the new link." So maybe I'm going to have the inside fucking scoop here. Oh my God, chat. That'll be like, I'll fucking be snubbing everyone. Everyone. I mean, everyone, chat. They'll be like, "Oh my God, Sean, we need it. How did you get you such, you're such a big daddy. Send us the link, please." But everyone will be wanting the link. Everyone. Yes. Hold on 1 second.
I'm going to shower. Keep an eye on.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
it. Move forward.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't dox my email when you pull it up.
I'm not gonna dox your email, sweetheart. Yes, the exclusive streamer. Yes. Everyone. Parallax, this is actually a very good question. Is McAfee presiding over this? No. This is the Board of Ethics, and I'm going to pull up their complaints. So, what happened so far that we know of? And Parallax, and guys, seriously, don't be afraid to ask questions. It totally is okay. So, this is from the Fulton County Board of Ethics. Daraka Satcher is their chair, but they have a couple different members, and it's attorneys, a couple of attorneys, and then whoever Walter Vincent is. Now, that's important because, the attorneys are, they've got a board of ethics. The attorneys have rules of ethics. And you could say, oh, they're attorneys, but yeah, they are going to probably be actually interested in what the fuck's going on here. So, they notified by email to the Board of County Commissioners that they're going to have a special meeting, that they are having a notice of meeting and agenda meeting of amended notice for today. So we found out about this a couple days ago, and what's happening? Well, the amended notice. They're having it today at 10 a.m. And members of the public are welcome to attend in person. And that's the thing; these hearings have to be in person. Oh, we got the hot link chat. Hold on here. Forward and on. Hold on. Did I do that right? I think I sent that. I just sent it to myself like a million times because I don't do apples. So, anyways, this is the notice that they're doing at 10 a.m. They're having special things here. So this is their basic amended agenda. The amended agenda. Okay, well, what's the amended agenda say? This is Robert's rules of order, Robert's rules of order. Introductions, adoption of the agenda, adoption of the old minutes. The last time they had a hearing was October 9th. They had a special meeting. Okay. They don't normally have to meet because they probably don't have tons of fucking problems. Except for this. This is kind of a big problem. New business, a request for advisory opinion by Roderick Conley. I'm sure that's what they're going to talk about there. There's also ethics complaint. Misha Maynard's complaint concerning Marvin Arrington. Okay. And there's there's an unfinished complaint they're dealing with, but then this way here. Oh boy. Oh boy, something's coming up. And I think there's an issue there about an advisory opinion. There's going to be new business, there's some vacancies, and then there's going to be an adjournment. It's pretty standard stuff, guys. So be prepared. Part of this might be boring as absolute dog shit. And I warn you for that now because that is how governmental things work. Okay. Let me see this. What is it? This might work here, chat. Hold on. Hold on. Hold up. Okay, we got it, chat. We got it. So this is supposedly a link to... Can you guys hear this at all? Because I can't hear a damn thing. This is apparently Fulton County Government TV. So it's the Animal Welfare Board, but it looks like this is the link that we got. So we're going to try to see this. I can't hear shit either. So, I don't know. I mean, we'll see if the other channels on YouTube have it. Let's see if Joe's got something here. Hold on. I'm going to send I'll send the link to Joe. All the diggers are probably over there like, Joe, Sean found a way.
We have a lot of programs where we try to keep animals together with their families, and we even have friendly finder programs for people who find animals where they can foster those animals, but they get entered into the system so that someone losing their pet would still be able to identify it through our website. But and we have a host of programs where we're trying to keep animals out of the shelter, but those programs are alternatives to shelter. they're
Let's
not
see
an
here.
excuse to bring in an animal into
Guys,
the
we're
shelter.
trying to
So
find here. Hold
if we have
on.
an animal that's truly
Hold,
at risk,
chat,
or an
hold.
owner who is in an emergency situation or other situation where they cannot care for their pet, we bring those animals in. So I think that's a definition. And the other organizations, the Humane Society is probably the largest example, but also
I'm
our
gonna send it to Gouveia
community
too.
animal
So
center
hold on here,
are
guys. Sorry, I'm
private
sending to
shelters.
chat and saying at
So,
least I
and they're
found
what's called
this.
limited admission. So that means that they can determine when and what kind, when they're going to take in animals, what kind and how many. And it's based. So for an open admission shelter, whether or not an animal comes in is based on the circumstances of the animal. For a limited admission, it's more dictated by the circumstances in the shelter. So if we're full and the animal needs to come in, they're still going to come in. If that makes sense. And with that, I'll let Lauren talk about intake. Basically, we have a couple of different kinds of animals. And we didn't put in, Lauren, seized animals, but it's a similar process when it gets down to the nuts and bolts. So,
So for stray animals, we do want to make sure that they are found in Fulton County. So that's one of the first things that we ask. We ask the finder if there is a finder.
So
How long
I
have
think,
they had
guys,
the animal?
I'm hoping this is going to allow us to check because this is old. So
Little things like what was
let's
the
see if
behavior during the time that they've had the
let's see if
animal,
something pops up.
if
Yeah, it's
there's
Vito's
some-
from The
get
Sopranos.
some little information
You got a
in
biting
there,
commercial on
stuff
Joe's
like that.
channel. Yeah.
We scan for a microchip.
What about the non-binary pets? What about the transgender pets? Yes. 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 Tune all the pets. They're already gay from the water.
Not just from our observations, but also from what the finder is telling us. This happens both in shelter and in field.
11 Alive said they're going to cover it, but I don't see anything. Yeah, I think the problem is they're trying. Everybody doesn't have a link.
There's suggestions. Like Rebecca said, with the
This is just
program,
yeah. Well,
the field officers are trained to.
hey guys, welcome to dealing with government.
That just like the inside.
You know, it happens.
Intake is. So that's available. So the animal never even comes through the intake.
So,
yeah,
there's 11 Alive because that's out of Hotlanta. Normally they're on top of it. I don't see it ready to go, so we're just gonna be waiting. I think, chat. Maybe we get through this so Joe can't find the link. I just are these victims of Osh? Yes. Yes.
To the shelter,
Yes.
it is.
Rowan saying cracked out Sean is the best Sean. Well, I just
You'll
sent Rob
see
and Joe.
25
If you guys can let
more
Joe
Friday,
like
Saturday,
know I tried to send him a link
the rest kind of
because he's not looking at me.
taper off.
And if you guys let Rob Gouveia know, I DM'd him, but I don't know if he's paying attention. Let them both know. I think those guys both need it, and I'm like,
if there's anybody out, ask the individuals, hey, have you seen this dog? Do you know this dog? And they do occasionally do the knocking on doors and kind of canvassing a little bit more grassroots to try to find an owner. So that's the primary difference between the intake procedure.
So
for owner surrenders, the majority of owner surrenders actually happen in intake, with the exception, and this is the reason why you see
she's been removed from the
owner
agenda.
surrenders
Well,
going up
oh.
That if
I'm
it
looking on
is a
Twitter. It looks like
difficulty or
Fani might have been taken off the
conversation, you
agenda.
ask the individual if they would like to owner surrender. There's a reason for that. That is so that all of the liability, especially if it needs medical, is on us and not necessarily the owner. But it also decreases the amount of court holds that we have within the shelter, so we're not holding animals for as long as we were. This is not in lieu of dismissing a citation. So they're still getting the citations, but this is something that could be rather than a cost of care, especially if it's medical. But that's why you see the field owner surrenders a little bit on an increase, and that is the only time, unless there's an emergency, that owner surrenders occur in the field.
Let me see, guys.
I'm looking at my phone. I do apologize. Somebody was not.
Fani Willis Ethics. Let's see Twitter. Twitter might be 28 minutes ago.
First and foremost, we determine, hey, why is it that you want to surrender the animal? what's going on, what is your history with this pet. That
Yeah.
allows us to determine what kind of resources that we can offer. Scan for a microchip always, because sometimes there's some trickery. And we
Looks like
wanna
it
make
might be
sure that
dead
this
here,
is
guys.
actually
I
the
don't know.
owner of the animal that is being surrendered.
What do you got
go
here?
into a lengthy conversation with community support, the resources that we can provide.
We got a
as
new
well
link.
as-
Says
Which case? I'm sorry.
in written
Oh no, this is a
Whitworth versus
leftover.
State, it clearly says the prosecutor should see no unfair advantage in taking advantage.
This
of
is
the
this is from the
accused
this is from
in
the
a case of
old.
conflict. What
This is from
unfair
the guys
advantage
from
is he having
yesterday.
in this case?
And he's
This is the
asked me a lot
Senate
of
hearing,
questions about Whitworth. I
so
would love a chance to read it. If you
we're
have a few
not
minutes,
gonna.
just so I
I'm
can
gonna
actually
minimize
respond.
that. This
I
is
don't have
this
it
is
in front of me,
not
and there's a lot of
new.
cases
Don't
up
worry
there. I
about
wanna
this
make sure I
chat.
respond accurately.
That's from yesterday.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a shot on
I'm
Robert
sorry,
G.
I'm
Okay.
one of those people on visual. I like to see it.
Yeah.
Come on. Thank you.
Oh, good.
While she's looking at this, we're going to wrap up here in a few minutes. I wanted to let the public know how you can get information to us. Each senator on the committee has a separate email address for committee business, and it's simply the last name.
So, yeah,
of
and
the
guys, I
senator.
don't know
In
if
my
you
case, it would be
if you guys were on last night, but we covered the Ashley
counselor.inv
Merkant
at
going before the Georgia
senate.ga.gov.
Senate, talking about what happened.
INV, obviously, for
But we're gonna switch back over to the Fulton
each
County
senator,
TV one
their
to see if
last
there's
name
any.
.inv at senate.ga.gov.
We got it just in
And
case.
David Cook is sitting over here in the corner as the secretary of the Senate.
We'll worry about all the transgender dogs as well. So, yeah, what's happening in Fulton? Okay. Oh, that's going to be like not actually what's going on. Oh my God. Apparently everybody's here because it's like dying now. This website is struggling. Struggle busing, chat. Live. Oh, okay. Well, there's a countdown. That's not good. Uh-oh. What happens when it gets to 0? Do we die? Do we die, chat? So, animal welfare in Fulton County has never had so much attention. Yeah. D saying hi. Hi. Do you think it was disingenuous for that committee member to try to pin Merkin down on a single case outcome? No, I mean that's his job. He is a scumbag hatchet man. So you know what he did? He took his hatchet and he hatcheted up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, we got oh. All right. Okay. Update chat. Dunsky, we got problems, chat. Chate, I got bad news, Chate. The meeting has been canceled and Fanny is off the meeting agenda.
Oh.
So Fanny, it's not saying Fanny doesn't have the right gender. It's just Fanny is off the agenda. So I'll translate for all you who may not be an official Southernness. But JG, that's a good question. Thank you, though. So what happened? So they are claiming that the Board of Ethics can't hear it because they don't have jurisdiction because Fanny's a state constitutional officer. Rob Gavay just sent me this link. So it was set at 9:40. So this guy already had the this dude right here, David Wickard. I don't know who he is. Okay. Oh, he's from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Okay, well, dude's got to follow from me because he's down there in hot Atlanta. Waiting for an official explanation once the meeting starts. Okay, so let's see if David's got any more updates. If he's updated. No. No. Nothing new. Nothing new, guys. So apparently the Board of Ethics is going to release a thing saying what's going to happen. So, oh, if you guys could let Nick Starro Trial Watch know that, oh, he's only covering the Senate hearing. Never mind. I thought he might be waiting for the DA thing, the thing here to let us know too. So let's see. Yeah, so sorry, chat, but I think we'll figure out. I don't know how this counts as a state constitutional thing. How do they not have any authority over her? So what? She has to get removed by the state Senate, or does she just get to run with free reign? Robert sent you guys. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Sperry. Thank you for being here. Is this lawful law? I don't know. I don't know if they chickened out. I don't know if people got scared or not. But I mean, I think it's funny though. We're everybody else is worried about the law but Fani. Peace and blessings that I described because of Robert G. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's a matter of subject matter jurisdiction. I mean, to be fair, yes, that is an actual thing. We don't have the jurisdiction to hear this case. That is actually true. And it's nice that they're being honest about it. Congo Ndub says, did Deuce ever meet Nathan? Yeah, I wonder if they ever met. Southern Gal says it does have jurisdiction. Yeah, maybe. Mrs. Hayes says Fani has been wiped. Yes. Walter, he is a reporter for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. That's the big newspaper in Atlanta. So if he's saying that, I would believe him as he's a fairly I mean, I'd assume he's in the know, and it's, we're 15 minutes in, we haven't heard anything, so I'm assuming that that's a correct statement of fact. Because I mean, Joe still doesn't have it either. So yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know, like saying a state constitutional officer. So let's do the I mean, we'll do some lawyer stuff here. We're operating without training wheels right now, chat. We're gonna do the Georgia Constitution and see what we can get out of this, because I don't know what else we can talk about right this second. So Fani says she is a state a constitutionally appointed officer. So the State Board of Ethics, maybe. Composer C is saying they're looking at ethical. Well, maybe they're scared. Maybe they're scared of little bunny rabbits. They could also be people doing the right thing. If they're doing the right thing, then I have no problem with it. Garrett says she's got a law license. They have jurisdiction. That would be the Georgia Supreme Court and their disciplinary council functions. That's a different entity entirely altogether. The Fulton County Board of Ethics might not have authority over her. So, I mean, Patty, here's the thing. They might be unethical. I don't know. The legislator has told Kemp he can remove her, which is legal. Oh, so this is kind of like down in Florida where DeSantis can remove DAs and prosecutors. Cool. So, that might be the issue here. Is it a federalism issue? It might be a separation of powers issue. Let's see what the Constitution says. Doreen's food prep resource. Robert sent me to. Well, thank you for being here. All you guys that came over from Robert Gavea, thank you for being here. I appreciate Rob recommended, now subscribe. Thank you so very much. Go to the Board of Ethics page. And Southern Gas is the only constitutional officer is a sheriff. All right, yeah, we'll look up the Board of Ethics first. Fulton County Board of Ethics. You could almost say we're Board of Ethics too. Oh. Boo. Boo this man. Boo this man. So let's start here first. Let's start here. Board of Ethics. So let's see what they've got here. Download the Board of Ethics description. Ooh. The Board of Ethics. Okay. So the Board of Ethics. It consists of 7 members who have been residents of Fulton County now less than 3 years. Okay, let's see what the Board of Ethics do now. I'm assuming these are the most honest and upright men in the county. 7 members who have not been residents not less than 3 years. Okay. Okay, so yeah. 7 following members who have been residents. So 1 nominated by the Atlanta Bar Association, 1 by the Gate City Bar Association, 1 from the Chamber of Commerce, 1 from the Atlanta Business League, 1 from the Airport Chamber of Commerce, then 1 from the South Fulton Chamber of Commerce, and then 1 nominated by the Board of Commissioners. Okay. Interesting. So that's how we know where all these people come from. And then each member selected after initial term shall serve a term of 3 years or until the termination of their membership in the organization, which that makes sense. It shall meet, the ethics board shall meet no less than what is required to conduct the business of the board, which in no event shall be less than once each calendar quarter. Okay, so that's why they met in October, last quarter. All right. So yeah, there we go. Interesting. All right. So that's the basics of it. Now let's read through some stuff real quick. Doesn't list DAs. Well, we'll get to it. She gets her budget from the county, yes, but if she's a state enumerated officer, that may change things. Sent you a PDF, Fulton County Ethics. All right. Well, we'll take a look at this. Okay, so 25 pages. Declaration of policy and aspirational. Putting ass and aspirational, I guess. It's essential to proper government that as well the officers are in fact in appearance independent and impartial in their official duties. Public service shall not be used for private gain. Yeah, we agree with that. Okay. So yeah, this is then to that end, no officer, no employee except as otherwise should be denied the opportunity available to all other citizens to acquire, maintain private and not my interest except where a conflict of interest situation would necessarily result. Yes. Officers employees should avoid to even the appearance of a conflict of interest by avoiding the circumstances that would provide a reasonable basis for the impression of an officer's ability to protect their public interest or partiality. Okay, well, interesting there. The appearance of conflict can exist in the absence of an actual conflict. And that's something, as attorneys, we talk about all the time. If there's the appearance of impropriety, that's it. And that's a very good standard to live by. Well, even if everybody knows it's not a conflict legally or ethically, does it look sketchy? And if it's sketchy, you should stop doing it. The appearance of impropriety makes people question things, and it's just not a good look. So, the appearance of impropriety can exist even in the absence of actual impropriety. So, yeah, this is pretty much their, what you should not do. And this is this is a big one here. Personal interest means any interest arising from relationships between the officer, employee, members of his or her immediate family, whether or not a financial is involved. For the purposes, without being limited, officer employees shall be deemed to have an interest in matters involving any person or his immediate family. Any person with a contractual relationship where she may receive any payment or benefit thereof. Well, yeah, she's receiving payment or benefit. And any bit, including any agreement for employment. Well, that's not there, but she's receiving the benefits of it. So that said, I think the bigger thing is here, let's get to the state constitution because I'm curious to know how that shakes out for Fani because we need to see what she's up there. Yeah, welcome everybody from Robert's channel. See what are you guys talking about? Oh, J Law says rubber for me. Looking forward to your channel. Well, thank you. You guys are going to enjoy it. So let's look at what the state constitution says because I'm curious to see. It's 100 pages, but we'll figure it out real quick. They messed with it in 2019. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't have to mess with ours, but we also didn't have a reconstruction, so ours is a little older. Okay, so revised in 2019, so it's new. Copies may be obtained for Brad Raffensperger. Well, I already got a copy. This document, okay, yada. Okay, so let's see here. District attorney. Okay. So, okay, discipline, removal, or retirement of judges doesn't matter. Okay, so this is about what the district attorney could do in that regard. Let's go to part 1 here. Okay. So, removal of public officials. Here we go. It's using the paragraph. Can you guys read this okay? Let me see here. Yes, you guys can read, but we'll zoom in a little bit more. Enhance. Okay. As used as paragraph, the term public means the governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, the attorney general, state school superintendent, commissioner of insurance, commissioner of agriculture, commissioner of labor, and any member of the general assembly. Okay. So, upon indictment for a felony by grand jury of the state or the United States, which felony indictment relates to the performance or activities of the office of any public official, the attorney general or district attorney shall transmit a certified copy of the indictment to the governor. Okay, well, that's not what we need. Let's see where else she pops up here. The removal of judges. Don't need that one because that's not what we're looking for. Okay, so that's not helpful. They have their own section here. District attorneys. Interesting. There shall be a district attorney for each judicial circuit who shall be elected circuit-wide for a term of 4 years. She might be, guys, I think she is a state constitutional officer. The successors of president, subsequent incumbents shall be elected by, literally, she's in the Constitution. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good argument here. District attorneys shall serve until their successors are duly elected and qualified. Vacancies shall be filled by appointment of the governor. To be fair, in Ohio, if there's a county prosecutor who's elected and there's a vacancy, people can get appointed to become prosecutor by the governor as well. So no person shall be, but it's literally listed here. This is kind of an issue here. So discipline removal. Here we go. Any district attorney may be discipline removed and or voluntarily retired as provided by general law. Well, what does that mean? How do you get rid of them? How do you get rid of them? That is not helpful at all. That doesn't joking, not joking. Do I get CLE credits for doing this? No. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how this works, guys. Sounds like a state statute then. Yeah, but then it would probably say, I sound like Coach Red Pill. I was like, let's see. Yeah, well, the governor's not going to fire her, probably not. Yes, general law served under general disarray. Yes. They both served Professor Chaos. So involuntarily, this is especially I get it. This was like 100 years ago and they hadn't fleshed this out. But Jason's saying they would need to impeach her. Maybe, but it's not listed though. Glock and Glomar saying compliance, chanceling prosecutors on compliance and rules. That might be an option too, but it's general law. You'd think they would say as provided by the official code of Georgia or the Georgia statutes. That's a little different. I don't know. We're gonna keep looking around, chat. So let's well actually, you know what? This is there's an easier answer here. There's I'm just not sure here. I'm just not sure, chat. Although, the easiest way to answer a question when you don't know, what do you do? Let's use Google. Attorney in or Georgia. So they're actually, in the meantime, though, we can here, what else is there? So, you guys, this was the actual real quick, let's go to this. This was the old ethics. This was the old meeting agenda. Notice how, what's missing now. So notice what's missing. We're missing these two things that were down here originally. These two, the ethics complaints, are gone. So the one for Roderick Conley, that's a separate thing. Don't worry about that guy. These two are gone. Remember, they were there before, but now they're gone. So that's that's what happened there. So how do you remove a district attorney in Georgia? Let's see what Google tells me. And you might laugh at me, but that's the easiest way to start. Yeah, this is Oh, actually, here we go. This will help us. The Guardian. It's 9 months old, but it's helpful. Georgia governor signs bill to allow removal of district attorneys. Okay. Signed a bill that makes it possible to oust elected prosecutors if they believe not to be adequately enforcing the law. It's a move seen as a thinly veiled thing. The law sets up a statewide prosecuting attorneys qualifications commission with the power to investigate. So that's where you probably have to go. This is where we probably have to go then. So yeah, so here we go. Yeah, so receiving, reviewing, investigating complaints by district attorneys. Yeah, this is where you have to do it. This is where you have to go, chat. This is where you have to go. So it does sound like this was not filed in the right spot. That's the breaks. So, although it's interesting because these will be done before the formal charges are done before the normal courts in Georgia, so we'd probably get to see these, which would be nice. Yeah. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay. Maybe I can apply to them. I can be like, why do you want to work for us? I'm like, I want to go after Fani. And I'm like, welcome aboard, sir. The Doherty Judicial Circuit. Okay. What is this? Let's view the position. An attorney working for. Oh, it's not. I thought it was like their actual thing. I was like, oh, working for the Headhunter Squad, but okay. Alpha Fox sent me another thing here. Okay. So let's go to the Georgia Code about district attorneys because that's like our next step here. We'll get figuring some things out here, chat. We're doing some legal research, chat. You're getting free legal research right now. Trenton's saying, AP News. Oh, the Georgia Supreme Court's refusing to approve the rules? Oh, that's great. Check 11 Alive Atlanta. Okay, we'll check 11 Alive. Yeah, they're still down, guys. I don't see anything new from them. Yeah, I check them every once in a while. I don't. She's off the meeting. She's off the meeting. The meeting's done. The meeting is 100% done. Georgia Supreme Court's blocking it. Okay. I've turned into Joe Reed chat. Yeah, well. Just open link. So let's just see what the Georgia Code talks about because it sounds like we're not going to be able to do much with it anyway. But it's so if the Georgia Supreme Court, and hold on here, yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so this is going to be. It sounds like, based on what I'm looking at, actually, Fanny might be untouchable right now because of what Trenton sent me here. Yeah, the Georgia Supreme Court has removed the GOP is preventing the commission from beginning to discipline prosecutors. Okay. Houston Gaines. That is such like a good old boy name there. Good old Houston. Why is this like I don't care, AP. Get the damn. Why is this being so fucking ridiculous? Why I don't want any of this. No. Get rid of all your headers here, AP. You're being gay. No, I don't want any of this. No, stop. All right, no, we're gonna. All right, let's see here. So it looks like there was changes to things. Okay, so it looks like in the House they are going through a new issue here. So it looks like the Georgia House is going back through. So that's going to be interesting because it says that the Georgia Supreme Court is preventing itself from reviewing it or imposing it. Let's see if this will actually fucking load now. Okay. What? Loading what? What are you loading? No, I don't want like triple mode. Exit accessibility mode. Thank you. Why? Nobody wants to read all your garbage here. Okay. So In an outside order, the justices say they have grave doubts about their ability to regulate the duties of district attorneys beyond the practice of law. They said because lawmakers hadn't expressly ordered judges to act, they're refusing to rule. Okay, well, that's fine. Although I can't imagine the court can be ordered to act because it's a separate branch of government. If attorneys exercise judicial power or regulation, the exercise of that power may well be within our inherent power as head of judicial branch. Okay, well, this is an argument of, the separation of powers. Are they judicially acting? Sure, then we can regulate them. But otherwise, the judge can't regulate a district attorney doing district attorney things. They could regulate him as an attorney, probably, but that's about it. Yeah. If it's see, I didn't even have to read the next sentence, chat. That's just that learned skill. They only exercise executive power. Our regulation would likely be beyond the scope of judicial power. Okay, well, yeah, that's a problem. So let's go on to what this is going to be passed as. Duties of district attorney. Okay, to do all this fun stuff here. Yeah, advise, collect all money due to the state in hands of cheaters. Collect all claims of state. Okay. To perform such duties which may be required by law. Okay, well, that's not really helpful to us either. Please see why above Fulton County versus Atlanta Judicial. Okay, sorry, guys. I was trying to read all. I haven't a chance to look.
Hey, did you?
Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Yes, chat, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read the things. I'm sorry. I'll read what you guys said. Everybody, let's just hold on, chat. We got this. Let's take a look. So Southern Gallery, you're saying the Board of Ethics has jurisdiction over Fulton County government. The district attorney is the district attorney for the Atlanta Judicial Circuit through Fulton County coextensively through the Atlanta Judicial Circuit. They are not the same constitutionally. Yeah, but I think that's something somebody's going to have to take up because for right now, it sounds like she made an argument. So, yeah, Das Boot, that was from November, but it's important to know how that's working. I mean, for right now, they're saying, yeah. Yeah, here's who it's supposed to be. Yeah, we just took a look at those guys. Yeah, this trial will go on. Keep whining. Yep, it will. Yeah, Southern Gal, I just took a look at that. I mean, there's an issue though. It says district attorneys in your constitution. That's a significant thing there. That's an important thing. It initially the board has to look at it and say, well, yeah, you're listed in the Constitution. We can't act for now. So, yeah, they determine they don't have jurisdiction. So I don't know what they're. I'm not getting mad at chat. Hi, Ryu Planeswalker. What do you do when you don't know an answer? Ask a trusted YouTube lawyer. Where's Legal Eagle when you need him? All Legal Eagle's answer is going to be, I'm going to send a FOIA to Trump. That's Legal Eagle's answer. Atlanta is 2 counties. Fulton, DeKalb. Yes. Or DeKalb. So does Fani win? She really hasn't won. Because she's committed improper conduct. The idea that she's completely untouchable, though, no, she hasn't won. It's just there is a proper venue to deal with her. It's just that hasn't been tried yet, apparently. So we'll find out. As of right now, Fani, she's still out there hanging out on her own. I just don't know what's ultimately going to happen there. And I think that's where we've got the issue. And in the meantime, guys, if you guys want to, we can watch We can watch the Trump attorneys like Ashley Merkins deal with the seething and molding members of the Georgia Senate Committee who were very concerned about her. So if you guys would like to watch that, we can watch that for a little bit. Certainly. I don't want you guys to feel like you've gone away empty-handed here. Can they still force the DA's office to recuse? Oh yeah, Judge McAfee could still do it. He could still do that. Phoebe Beach is saying, so the hearings of McAfee are moot. No. That's just removing Fani from the case. That's removing Fani from the case. None of that has any bearing on what happens to the court case that she indicted and did all this nonsense on. That's just removed from the case, not the office. So that's a separate matter. Say me being retarded. I mean, hold on, guys. If I have to scroll through a document, I have to have that document full screened. So that's why I can't see you guys, and I try to go back and forth. That's what's happening. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Yes, Ashley has some very perky points. So, do you think she'll appeal McAfee's thing? Maybe. I could see it. But if she does that, that drags it out even further. And ultimately, she's got a problem then. Because now she's, remember, appeals are for losers. She's going to have to convince the court above, like, look, I wasn't being sketch. And this court's seen everything. And they're going to be like, but were you really not sketch? Yes, Jayla, I talked about this last night. Judge McAfee has a challenger now in the election coming up because McAfee's up for election, so is Fani. Now he has a competitor. Initially, he was running unopposed, and now a guy is challenging him. So, we'll watch Ashley for a couple minutes. Ashley Merkant deal with the coping and molding and sneaking of this man who doesn't really understand how to handle things. This is actually very good if you guys have not seen it. So this is going to be, this lady right here is Ashley Merkant. She was running all the Fani Willis stuff. She represents one of the co-defendants, not Trump's attorney, but she represents one of the co-defendants, and she blew the doors off all of this. And she spent about 3 hours yesterday going through all of it. And it's absolutely amazing what Fani and Wade did and how she learned all this information. And the funny thing is she just learned this information and she started going around asking questions. She filed a couple of open records requests and just started going from there. And then eventually Wade's friend, Terrence Bradley, came over and started talking to her. So it's really cool how this all came about. So this is from yesterday morning.
And you've been very patient with us. I'm going to give Senator Harold Jones an opportunity to ask a few questions. On our rules, we do allow at least one member of the minority party to participate. And Senator Jones, you're not time limited. If you, when the buzzer hits and you've got to go to court, you tell us, but I feel like we got at least 15, 20 minutes.
You definitely do. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have. My court's at 1:15 in Fulton County. So, if I get in trouble, if you can call the judge, then I'm fine.
You got it.
I just wanted to go back to the issue about the conflict, because I think that's kind of what brought us all here to some extent. On one issue, in your brief, the most recent one that you filed.
The second one?
Right.
Okay.
On page 21 of that, you went ahead and acknowledged that the aspect about him not signing, I believe, or being duly authorized to be a prosecutor, that's already been handled in one court, but you're still bringing that issue back up. But it has been decided in the negative, in one court, of course, you are still bringing that issue back up.
Yeah, so you're talking about the oath,
Right.
the oath issue. Yeah, so Manny Aurora was working on this issue early on, and he filed a motion about the oath. At the time, it hadn't been filed, and in and of itself, that's not, that's not filing an oath. That's not going to get rid of a case. That's not going to disqualify in and of itself. Clearly, the judge told us that in an order, but I was trying to paint the entire picture and how I felt that it was relevant. And it definitely is not a ground that I was arguing for disqualification, but I felt that it was relevant because it shows that they were hiding this relationship, and all the evidence indicates that.
Right. Now I was just kind of showing why I'm moving on to this next particular point here, which goes to page 24 of your brief, which deals with, I think, the thing that's really out there in the media, which deals with the relationship and aspects of that some kind of way this creates a conflict of interest. And of course, the judge is going to rule on that, but I still think it's important to kind of go through it. And you cite the case of Whitworth versus State. What in that case actually applies to this particular case?
I don't know if I'm looking. You said it was the last one that I filed?
Yeah.
So February 9th.
Yes, page 24.
Page 24. You said Woodward?
Whitworth.
I don't see Whitworth.
At the bottom, Georgia courts have developed their own standard for disqualification of prosecutors.
That's not my page 24. You must be looking at a different, the one that was filed February 9th at 3:47.
Ms. Burton, we can't hear you.
I'm so sorry. I'm
Just
so
pull the
sorry.
microphone, just
of
pull it
course.
closer to you.
Yes, I want to make sure I'm following the same one. You're talking about the defendant supplemental reply that was filed on February 9th at 3:47.
No, let's go back.
Okay.
Let's use your first one.
Okay.
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 Yeah. One that's a little bit more. Okay. So that one there on the Whitworth case, tell me how that actually impacts this particular case.
Which page are you referring to?
Page 24.
Page 24.
Thank you, Murph. I'll take a look at that real quick.
So the site is Whitworth. The court recognized a conflict of interest as a ground for disqualification, held to arise where the prosecutor had acquired a personal interest or stake in the defendant's conviction. And I don't, I wish I had that case in front of me. I don't have the case in front of me, but essentially, to answer your question, that first of all is physical precedent only. So
Right.
yes, and we
But you did cite it.
and said
Right.
that it's physical
Yeah.
precedent only.
And you're using that as the basis really to say it's a conflict. There's no other case law that you actually use in this particular brief to say it's a conflict other than Whitworth and also amusement sales, which deals with contingency fee.
Right.
And so in Whitworth, and I have the case if you want to go through it, it actually talks about that there's ways of citing the conflict.
Right.
Number one would be if he had or prosecutor had actually spoken to the defendant. Has that taken place?
No.
Okay. Second, has he represented the defendant?
No, he hasn't. There was a motion early on. I didn't even bring this up here, and I don't think we talked about it in the brief, but there was a motion early on because Mr. Campbell, who's Mr. Wade's law partner, actually sent a mailer out to my client and all of the other
remember that.
defendants. Yeah. So I don't think anybody called based on that, but they did advertise to them saying, call us to represent you.
And then they came with the third, which says there has to be a personal stake in the defendant's conviction.
Right.
So is that what you're relying on there, that there's a personal stake in his conviction?
No, in the prosecution also. So, and in that case, that's physical precedent only. And I don't remember the specific facts of that case, but it's not just a conviction. And obviously the state wants it to be just a conviction. And we argued this extensively over 3 hours, I think, in front of the court. But it's also a personal stake in the prosecution. And that was an amusement, prosecution. In that case, that was a contingency fee case. So
That's
that was
correct.
Completely different. Yeah.
And so in amusement, it was a contingency fee case. So they had a personal stake.
Yeah, so just listen to this. This guy is looking for anything he can to go after her. Chat, I do have some new updates on some things, some information, some documents to go over. So we could keep going with this. We've already watched it. We could finish up. There's only a couple more minutes left, really, of it. If you guys would like to. Or we can stop, whatever you guys would like to do here. I mean, there's probably a good 30 minutes of this left. Or I have some updates about new complaints have been filed against Fani. If you guys want to do that. You know what? Actually, we'll just switch over to those now. So, and we also have the announcement from the Board of Ethics about taking a knee That is actually available for us to see as well. So we can. It's not going to be much, but it's still something. Ashley graduated college in 03, so she's like my age. I graduated college in 2008, so she's a little bit older than me. Not by much. Not by much. I have a lot more gray hair than her. So let's get to the updates. Are they in section 15, Sean? I don't know, but we're gonna take a look at it. Capone says, I don't want to watch this guy cope again. Yes, he copes a lot. He copes so hard you think he lives in Denmark, in the capital city. So let's get to these. Let's get to the new information here, chat. So this is from the this guy named Doug Reardon. This is from the Fulton County Board of Ethics. Apparently this is them punting.
As a state constitutional officer, the district attorney is tasked with prosecuting and enforcing felony criminal laws on behalf of the state. The Fulton County Code of Ethics, our Code of Ethics, only applies to county officers and employees. The Fulton County District Attorney does not fall within the definition of the county officer as defined in the Ethics Code.
Makes sense, therefore, that we elect to decline the chance to rule one way or other regarding her action.
As a state constitutional officer, the district attorney
So-
is tasked.
That guy, sorry, the audio sucks, but that's them just saying she's not a county officer technically. So they're not going to do anything about it. So that's where we are. In other news, there is an update to, well, since that failed, a Georgia group called Georgia Citizens Defending Freedom. Obviously, their director, Holly Kessler. Although it's interesting, she doesn't have that thing in her stuff there. They filed a complaint with the Prosecutors Qualifications Commission and the Fulton County Board of Ethics again. Well, it's not going to work. We already know this one's not going to work. They're going to say no. So they filed two separate ones. Now she's saying they filed their complaint. They filed a complaint with the Prosecution and Qualification Committee on February 22nd. They did this already? That's like 2 weeks ago, and we don't know anything? Huh. Why didn't they make noise about this when it happened? That's weird. Second complaint was filed with the Board of Ethics on February 26th. Okay, well, we know that one's going to get killed. So, we already know the first one's good. The Ethics Board one's not going to work. We already know that. The Ethics Board will not take it. So it doesn't matter what you do. They're refusing to hear it. I don't know why they're going to be focused on that. I think it's really kind of goofy. But let's go to their website and let's see if we can find a copy of the complaints. Okay, let's see if did they not post them? Okay, well, let's go back to here. Okay, so they've got it's on Scribed. Why do people use this place? Scribed is such garbage. Scribed is such garbage. I guess we'll zoom in and use this here, chat. For what it's worth. We'll use Scribed. I just hate using it. So here we go. This is just, ugh. People using Scribed. Scribed needs to, go away. Scribed is the devil. This is just absolute garbage here. Southern Gal saying, would Board of Ethics be involved with Fulton County funding involved as opposed to governing her, but her use of county funds and policy? She might get funded, but I don't know. I mean, ultimately, I think you can make an argument there. I think you can make the argument, but I think there's a bit of an issue because of that. But ultimately, it's who has her authority. Like they could take money away, maybe, or the board of commissioners could cut her budget. But remember, they can't. They don't have the authority. Like just because she gets some of their money, I don't know if they still have authority over her personally. So. You wonder if the petitioner has a procedural right to be heard in the Fulton County Board of Ethics. Well, if they don't have jurisdiction to hear it, I don't know if they like. That's the thing. Allowing a petitioner to be heard if they have no if they have no jurisdiction for it, you set up a problem because then you violate due process. Because if they have the right to be heard, but you don't have a right to jurisdiction over a person, well, then they're not bound to appear. But if they show up, are they consenting to jurisdiction of that, or are they allowed just to air their grievance? Like, because you're letting the one side in to air their grievances. That's what you're trying to backdoor in all that stuff. Okay, so you're letting a person come in and argue it. If Fani shows up then and she then allowed to argue back and not subject herself to the jurisdiction of this thing, I think you run into an issue there because it's like a limited appearance just to talk shit, and then that's not how those things work. So, President-elect Phil Swift from 199 says Ashley Merkett's milkers are saving democracy in America. Yes. So, yes, Fani for jail in 2024. Yeah. And Graxa says it's okay. Killdozers have jurisdiction everywhere. Yes, except for basements. They don't like basements. So let's just keep reading. Let's just keep reading this, see what we can find here. But yeah, guys, if you were just joining us, the Fani Will ethics hearing has been canceled. Basically, they punted, and they're saying they don't have any authority over her. But let's see what this complaint is. Although this complaint's old, it's from the 26th. And she personally, so this lady on her own is petitioning them. Okay, well, let's see what she's saying here. The Constitution of Georgia allows for the discipline removal or involuntary retirement of any district attorney as provided by general law. Okay. But remember, we looked at the general law and it didn't say anything about removing them. That's the issue here. Like this is just, and it talks about the contractual relationship, yada. But where is the actual part about her? Okay, yeah, here we go. This is where I wanted to see. How's the legal authority they're arguing here? So the commission shall promulgate standards and rules which will be effective only upon review by the Georgia Supreme Court. So that's where they've got an issue here. That's why this isn't going to work for now. Remember, we just said that secondary thing where the Georgia House is passing new stuff. So the commission shall promulgate rules the Georgia Supreme Court has to approve. Well, that's not happening. So this is all kind of garbage. Her authority that she's basing it off of, she's using authority that's not properly cited. So this complaint fails, in my opinion. Yeah, they point out the Supreme Court declined to conduct the review and approval process, citing doubts about its power to do so. This currently leaves the commission standard and rules pending until an appropriate amendment of the act by the legislature, which is pending. Yeah. But it was still established to go into effect that it's authorized to receive complaints on or after that date. Okay, well, so yeah, this complaint's going to sit and sit and sit. That complaint, I mean, how long is it going to take the Georgia Senate to pass this? Let's say it takes 3-4 months, and then it's going to be a couple more months for it to be enabled. We could be looking at, well, after Election Day, before the disciplinary group or the qualifications commission could get involved. There's nothing like this is all like what, maybe like November. Like you're looking at like 6 months. This is just gonna sit. So I don't know what they like. We're delivering we filed a complaint. It's like you're looking at like 6 months for this, guys, easily. This ain't gonna do shit. Like, there's nothing here to read. We're just in a holding pattern, chat. We're just in a holding pattern. So, Al Fox saying, I was thinking of akin to a town hall meeting to go and debase Fani and talk about her. Yeah, but she would have the right to do it herself, and they're going to say we're not a grievance board like that. So I don't think they'd let you. Was that the first or second complaint Kessler filed? I think that's her second one. I think it's her second one, but even then, they acknowledge there is nothing for this committee. There's literally that governing body can do nothing right now. So it's going to be a matter of waiting. How long till that happens? It could be like any day now, or it could be like 6 months from now, and it's just going to sit. So right now, Fani does appear to be partially untouchable. Barnes said when he went to Georgia, he said everything about it was a huge goat rodeo. Yeah. Now, to be fair, part of that was Trump's team and everybody there was acting like a bunch of yahoos. But it does sound like Georgia law is really Georgia law is very football bad at this point, to use a Army term. Very much like a football bat. Brimstone says, who can prosecute her for fraud, perjury? Oh, she can be prosecuted by the Attorney General's office for that. The feds could go after her for that. But no, the state, she's not immune from criminal prosecution. There's just questions about how to properly remove her from office. So she's 100% bound by law. It's just the issue of how do you remove her for being a scumbag? That's a separate matter. Yes, Panzer Dude says, but I want her gone, Sean, and I need to speak to your manager. Well, let me go get the managing partner of the law firm. Brimstone says, can a judge make a determination that Fani committed perjury and then the secretary take her off the ballot? No, but you could argue this unlawful stuff is insurrection and have her taken it off, but I don't know. So, yeah, guys, so that's it. I think Fani's kind of untouchable right now. Maybe there are Georgia attorneys who are far more experienced, like, well, I know lead attorney's judge, or not a judge, he's an attorney in Georgia. I know we have one of our members here, J-Rock, he's an attorney in Georgia. I kind of get the idea that Fani's a little, Fani's protected right now. Unintentionally, but protected nonetheless. So, yeah. So, that's really kind of it. Hold on 1 second, guys. I need to close it. So yeah, no ethics hearing today. Nope. It doesn't sound like we're going to have one anytime soon because they don't think they have the authority to do it. And honestly, that's a bit refreshing. Maybe they're being cowards or whatever, but at least somebody's stopping to think, do I have the right and the power to do what I'm doing? I mean, because they have the power ultimately to do whatever the hell they want. But should they do it? Should they be careful and tread lightly? They're trying. They're trying to do it the right way. Tilly's Philly saying, how do I take my coffee? I take it like 2 sugars, black with 2 sugars. No cream in my coffee and just a little bit of sugar. But if not, I'll drink black coffee. But I'm not a big coffee drinker, so because there are times when I do drink it, I do drink a ton of it. So Garrett says no ethics in Georgia. Well, this is actually, I think, an ethical decision by the ethics board. Like, look, we're not going to fuck back. Although those guys are probably snakes ultimately. Jamie Gum says, if you have the power, you have the right. Ask any government employee. Well, yes, that's yes. I have the power to abuse my power, so I'm going to do it. Jan Anderson says maybe we shouldn't have elected DAs or judges. Oh, here's the problem. If you don't have elected DAs or judges and they're appointed, you run the same problems that you have with elected ones. Because now instead of pandering to the voting base, whoever's trying to become DA or judge is going to start sucking up and pandering and trying to corrupt the people in charge of the nominating commissions, in charge of, who the governor has on his boards, or even if it's just the governor himself appointing it. Those people are now targets of the corruption and the intrigue and the undue influence. So you're just changing where the rot is. And I think it's far easier to deal with the rot on the outside than if you internalize it inside the government. I mean, at least people can see the rot on the outside, at least. And if they want to wallow in filth, then they made their choice. Murph is saying, I think this will be fought. He's saying, as an officer of the court in Fulton County, they have an authority otherwise. Why would she be required to report gifts by their policy? This doesn't hold up. Well, remember, that policy is for Fulton County employees. So it's all the assistant district attorneys. It's all the assistant district attorneys, all those people who solely get a paycheck from Fulton County. Those are the people that are subject to that. So everybody under Fani, so all 100, probably 150, almost 200 attorneys that work in that office are under that rule. And they're provided by their health care comes through Fulton County. Their checks in their bank accounts say Fulton County. Their employee handbook says Fulton County. They're disciplined. Those forms will say Fulton County. Fani's the only one who probably doesn't have any. Like, some of her compensation comes from the state. So who's paying her? Well, that becomes an issue. So she's not necessarily. She's an officer of the court, and her being a lack of candor, or as my chat likes to think, it's called a lack of condor. That's a separate issue. Brimton's saying she has more immunity than Trump as president. I think that was more of, this is a legislative black hole. They weren't necessarily setting this up, so they screwed up. They tried to set something up and they got a little too pushy and greedy with it. Now they have to restart it. So that's not, it happens. It happens. Shit happens, guys. Oh, Bella's saying that Illinois, or the mayor in Illinois, denied the investigation into herself. Yeah, well, that's different. It's interesting. No Pants Baby saying, why have non-elected judges or DAs but subject to recall? Well, if that's the case, why not just vote them, period? Like I said, you're now, once again, you're trading off how you're doing this. You're letting the corruption just go to a different spot. And I think it's harder and more expensive to corrupt an entire populace than it is to corrupt like 10 guys on a committee. So, No Pants Baby says, how ethical is it to not intervene in a process you can stop? How can they stop Fani? What can they do? Can they remove her? Can they remove her? Can they fire her? They can't do that. They can't fire an elected official. The county can't fire her. So that's the problem here. Ultimately, this becomes an issue of what can they do? This isn't some rum-dum janitor working at the jail. This is, a county government dealing with an elected official. I would argue there's no way you could argue they have the authority to remove somebody like that because that's not how this was set up. This board was set up, but I guarantee you there's nothing in the state constitution saying, well, they can be removed if the ethics board says so. No. Now, could the ethics board make a finding? Sure, but if they make a finding and they can't do anything about it, then why make a finding at all or have a thing at all? Because that's just impotent flailing at that point. So I just it makes sense what's being argued here. And it looks like from state law and the constitutional law, this is a lapse in the law that is they were already working on fixing this, and it just hasn't caught up yet. So no one will do anything right now. Yeah. Pretty much. Jan is saying, I'm from the UK, so it's all strange to me. I understand. But yeah, that's I mean, ask questions, ask away. We're here for a little while, so ask away. Sean Fanny's coming to my house in real life. A lot of things I could say that might get interpreted poorly, so I won't say it. And Hazel Vance saying one that is voted for can also be voted out. Yes, but it's really hard to get rid of incumbents. Yes, there's a lack of condors. Yes, a lack of condors. Yes, when you go before the court, chat, you can't have a lack of condor if you're new here. No Pants Baby says half the populace is retarded. They get manipulated by moving pictures on a TV box. Yes, but that's... Yeah. Bella says they can call DeSantis and see how he did it. Well, remember, they passed the law, but then they screwed up by saying they wanted the Supreme Court to give them the parameters. The Supreme Court's like, we can't do that. So now they're cutting that part out, and they're just going with the law. Well, that law is going to get passed. So at that point, I think it can happen. The other problem, though, is the governor of Georgia is a scared little kitty cat. Brian Kemp does not want to do what he's got to do. And if he even had the authority to do it, I'm not sure he would. I'm not sure he's got the stones to do it and make it happen. No Pants Baby says, cut funding, remove our prosecutors. Yeah, that ain't going to work. That's not going to work. Because how does that ethically punish her by now you're punishing the entire community? Because believe it or not, they're still doing work for the community. And to remove them all, you'd literally take the community and light it on fire. To own some, you're trying to do that, and I'm not making fun of you, I'm just saying, you're going to own Fani Willis by doing something that doesn't hurt her and hurts the community instead. Fani don't give a shit. She would 100%, yeah. I'm sanctioning her to send a message. I don't think you can sanction her. So, I don't think it matters. Oh, William Dinan is saying the Attorney's Qualification Commission is the correct venue. I think so, too. I think that's the correct venue. It's the correct venue. It's the proper venue. And it's not properly set up yet. Murph saying, the ethics statute states, the Code of Ethics statute states it applies to any elected officer of the county. Okay, then that's fine. But what can they do to her? They can't remove her. Now, remember, it's a statute. Okay, you're dealing with a statute. And what's above a statute? Your constitutional authority. The removal of Fani Willis is governed by state law, general law. Okay, that full stop. That's where it ends. So they can't do anything to her. I mean, they could reprimand her maybe, but that's probably about it. But I think they're realizing, like, we don't really have any true authority over her. And I'd argue they probably don't. I mean, you're going to hold a hearing for somebody you can't really do anything other than say naughty, naughty. That's just, I guess. You send me the link if you want. Your stream doesn't come on when I choose the live option tab. You need to talk to your ADA required YouTube person. Yeah. Martin Sorrell, good to see you. It's been a little while, man. Saying, oh man, catching Sean live when at work, miracle to behold. It's only a European problem. Yeah. So. They could take your bar license away. Yeah, it's a separate matter. That is a separate disciplinary matter. And you want to talk about something that's going to take a little while? You're talking about like there's an investigation. She has the right to respond. They have to have hearings. You want to talk about something say like a year and a half out? That's a year and a half out. So it's going to be a long time. Can they fire Wade? Well, technically, Judge McAfee could say he's not a special prosecutor because he didn't comply with the law and basically render his authority null and void. So that could happen. But as far as just like firing them, I think Fani could fire people if she wanted to. I don't know how that would work ultimately, but Supermayor should fire Fani. She probably would. Dolly, how are you doing, Dolly? Could she be a DA with a bar license? I have a feeling, because at least I know in Ohio, to be a district attorney, you have to actually be a licensed attorney. So, or prosecutor to be a licensed attorney. I'm assuming she has to as well. I mean, I hope to God so. So yeah, guys, like I said, I'm not trying to give everybody here a tough time. It's just what it is right now. I think that's kind of where we are with this. And like I said, you don't have to like it, but these are the rules. So, all right, guys. Well, with that being said, I know it's a little bit of a bust today, but I need to get some work done real quick, and then probably around noon or so, we're gonna start the try to catch up on the guy doing the bathtub murders. Gosh, that's so funny. You're getting a divorce from your wife. Here's the story. It's in Idaho. You're getting a divorce from your wife, and then one day you call the police, say, "Oh, she's in the bathtub and she shot herself in the head," and that's all they have. So, yeah, that's not a great fact pattern to tell the police. So we're gonna start watching that. I think that'll be very interesting and see what happens there. If you guys don't know from yesterday, Hannah Reed was convicted on convicted on the manslaughter count, acquitted of the tampering of with evidence case, and will be getting sentenced sometime in the near future. The last thing I want to say is we will be live tonight. We will be live tonight at 9:30 Eastern time, doing the weekly live show. And we do that every Thursday night at 9:30. So we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about this. We got some updates going on with what happened with former President Trump. We've also got Michael Avenatti kind of hit the skids with his appeal, and then a couple other cases of interesting stuff going on out there in the legal world. And that's at 9:30 tonight, guys. It'll be here on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, Twitch, everywhere. So I hope to see you guys around at that point. MLS is doing the Crumbly Dad. Yeah, I know, but right now, remember, a lot of those are going to be very duplicative. You know, we've already seen a bunch of it. So, Carrie says, "Cover Cop City." Yeah, I can look into that because that is the state doing RICO charges against people as well. Tilly's saying, "What time can I do the bathtub murder?" We're probably going to start up about right around noon, 12:15. So we'll do that. Also, guys, yep. Yeah, guys, if you guys get the chance, Veilhammer Media, he's the guy helping me out with my sound over here, getting all this crap to work right. He's helped me out, so I'd like to help him out. If you guys can go over and give him a sub, I know it'd be greatly appreciated. So, but other than that, guys, like I said, about 12:15, we'll start up the we'll start up doing this case out of Idaho. It looks like it'll be very interesting. So, yeah, bummer. Don't worry, Fanny won't escape justice. Something's gonna catch up to her. Something will catch up to her somewhere. She won't escape man's justice. Just keep that in mind, chat. Keep that white pill in chat. So, see you guys in a little while. Take care.